Hello there, with me, Hendy Gui, for the 5 p.m. English news on TVS. Let's move on to the news. The support given by the members of Parliament for Budget 2021 showed that they realize the importance of the programs for the people, especially in the effort to fight the COVID-19 pandemic.
The Prime Minister said the budget was also very important for the government to improve the people's standard of living, especially the B40, M40, the vulnerable and the less fortunate groups. Expressing his gratitude for the budget approval, he thanked all MPs of Barisan Nasional, Gabungan Parti Sarawak, Parti Bersatu Sabah, and PN for supporting the budget from the policy to the committee stages and its third reading. The budget, the first by the Perikatan Nasional Government, was passed in the Dewan Rakyat on Tuesday when the Supply Bill 2021 or Budget 2021 received the majority support of MPs. The bill was passed by block vote after its third reading by Finance Minister Tengku Datuk Sri Zafrul Tengku Abdul Aziz. It was witnessed by 111 MPs supporting, 108 rejecting and 1 absentee. The Prime Minister said the solid support proved that whatever actions taken by the PN government were always for the sake of the people's welfare, safety and well-being, as well as to revive the country's economy.
Right. The services and sacrifices of the late Royal Professor Ungku Abdul Aziz Ungku Abdul Rahamid are unmatched and will always remain in the hearts and minds of every Malaysian.
Prime Minister Tan Sri Muhyiddin Yassin described the late Ungku Abdul Aziz as a prime and highly respected academic and economic figure. He added the late Ungku Abdul Aziz was also an economic expert who contributed a lot of ideas towards the development of religion, race and country, including in addressing issues of poverty in rural areas. The late Ungku Abdul Aziz was also the first Malaysian to be appointed Vice-Chancellor of University Malaya, a post he held the longest, for 20 years from 1968. Muhyiddin said under his leadership, the Science Foundation Center was established, which produced many doctors, engineers and professionals among locals. Ungku Abdul Aziz, aged 98, died at about 4 p.m. on Tuesday afternoon and was laid to rest at the Bukit Kiara Muslim Cemetery at about 9:30 p.m. on Tuesday. His commitment in empowering the people's economy had been significant. Apart from the establishment of Lembaga Tabung Haji, he was the driving force behind the national cooperatives and was the president of the Angkatan Koperasi Kebangsaan Malaysia, or Angkasa, for almost 4 years from 1971 to 2009. Ungku Abdul Aziz was awarded the Royal Professor of Economics by the federal government in 1978. He also received honorary awards from over 10 local and foreign universities, including the University of Pittsburgh, the University of Warwick, and Chulalongkorn University in Bangkok. In 1997, Ungku Abdul Aziz was the recipient of the Tokoh Ma'al Hijrah Award for the year 1418 Hijrah.
The government has not made any decision to reintroduce the goods and services tax in the midst of the COVID-19 pandemic.
Minister Tengku Datuk Sri Zafrul Abdul Aziz said the government's priority is to fight the pandemic, protect the people and support businesses. Nevertheless, he said the government was studying and soliciting views as well as feedback from various parties of interest on any feasible consumption tax models while taking into account every aspect, including the weaknesses of the current sales and services tax and previous GST.
Right. The Ministry of Communications and Multimedia will always support every effort and initiative to empower the creative industry that was affected by COVID-19 pandemic. Its Minister, Datuk Saifuddin Abdullah, said every industry practitioner must be keen to seize every opportunity to be had from this support.
He urged every industry player to take the opportunities from the Ministry and the National Film Development Corporation Malaysia, or FINAS, to develop the national creative and film industries. He also expressed hope that everyone can be united in producing quality works of art while at the same time reinvigorating the industry in line with the goal of reaching the international stage. He said this when officiating the launch of online theatre Rasa in Kuala Lumpur on Tuesday.
Welcome back. To ensure that no one gets left in the dark, some 150,000 new rural households across the state have been connected with 24-hour electricity as Sarawak Energy looks to achieve 100% coverage by 2025. At the same time, increase the overall domestic electricity coverage in Sarawak to 98% by 2020 under the Accelerated Rural Electrification Master Plan by Utilities Ministry.
And since last year, our customer base has grown, and we are now serving about 710,000 customers, covering domestic, commercial, industrial, and export customers through an extensive transmission and distribution network. Our manpower has also increased to 5,400 multidisciplinary staff from 5,000 in 2019. Our vision still remains to achieve sustainable growth and prosperity for Sarawak by meeting the region's need for reliable and renewable energy. And this sets the scene for us to build on our regional ambition and hopefully next chapter of growth. Sarawak Energy aims to ensure that Sarawak will be fully electrified before 2025, and we are working closely with the Ministry of Utility to achieve these goals. Since 2009, about 150,000 households have been lighted up under the various rural electrification strategies. And currently, we're at 95% rural coverage, and with the aim to reach 97% in the next couple of months. And hopefully that we will be able to achieve that by end of first quarter next year.
Sharbini pointed out in managing its business to minimize any negative impact of our operations and our environment and maximize the positive impact for the community, in which renewable hydropower made up 75% of its energy mix, complemented by coal and natural gas, which enables Sarawak Energy to offer the lowest unsubsidized tariff in Malaysia and amongst the most competitive in the region.
Two students of Sekolah Kebangsaan Temong who recently won an international award for short films in Brazil will receive incentives from the Sarawak government.
The incentives were presented by the Chief Minister Datuk Patinggi Abang Johari Tun Openg at the Sarawak State Government Administrative Headquarters at 2 p.m. on December 16, 2020. The two pupils were declared winners in the primary school category of Best Film by popular jury at the festival di Cinema Escola de Alvorada, Fesia. They earned the award through their short animated feature Batuh Bijanji or Stone Promises in Bidayo, which tells the story of two childhood friends, Bibi and Sarah. Fesia, a festival that recognizes outstanding audiovisual works at the school level, was held online, with the voting running from November 17th to 28th via the Fesia RS YouTube channel.
The cumulative number of COVID-19 positive cases around the world have now reached 73.25 million, following hundreds of thousands of new infections recorded within 24 hours.
As of Wednesday, Johns Hopkins University's latest data shows that the United States of America remained the worst-hit country with 16.63 million cases. This was followed by India with 9.9 million cases, while Brazil recorded 6.92 million cases. Russia and France now exceed 2 million cases. Meanwhile, positive cases in the United Kingdom, Turkey, Italy, Spain, Argentina, Germany, Mexico, Poland and Iran have exceeded 1 million cases each. Countries that recorded more than 500,000 cases include Peru, Ukraine, South Africa, the Netherlands, Indonesia, Belgium, Czechia, Iraq, Chile and Romania. Countries with 300,000 to 500,000 coronavirus cases are Bangladesh, Canada, the Philippines, Pakistan, Maghrebi, Switzerland, Saudi Arabia, Israel, Portugal, Austria and Sweden. As such, a total of 35 countries recorded positive cases in the range of 100,000 and 300,000 cases. Other countries are still recording figures under 100,000, including Malaysia.
A moderate earthquake measuring 5.9 on the Richter scale hit Mindanao in the Philippines at 7:22 a.m. on Wednesday.
The Malaysian Meteorology Department met Malaysia in a statement said the quake occurred about 158 kilometers south of Coronadal City in the Philippines at a depth of 10 kilometers. However, it posed no tsunami threat to Malaysia.
And that concludes our 5 p.m. English news on TVS. Stay tuned for our Nightline at 11:30 p.m. with Razi Ahmad and Cheryl Shamina. My name is Handy Gui. See you next time and stay safe.